Have you ever pondered why Taiwan isn't a part of China? To understand this, we have to travel back to the era of the Chinese Civil War. This was a tumultuous time in China's history, spanning from 1927 to 1949, a period filled with political upheaval and military confrontations. At the heart of this conflict were two main parties: the Nationalists, also known as Kuomintang, and the Communists, or the Chinese Communist Party. Over the course of 22 years, these two factions battled fiercely for control of China, each with their distinct visions for the future of the nation. However, the scales tipped in favor of the Communists. The Nationalists, defeated and despondent, retreated to the island of Taiwan, a move that would have far-reaching implications for the region. So the Nationalists fled to Taiwan, but how did this lead to Taiwan's separate identity? Stay tuned. Now let's explore what happened when the Nationalists retreated to Taiwan. The conclusion of the Chinese Civil War saw the Nationalists, under the leadership of Chiang Kai-shek, making a strategic retreat to the island of Taiwan. This wasn't by choice but necessity, as the Communists had gained control over the mainland. In Taiwan, the Nationalists set up a separate government with Chiang Kai-shek assuming the role of president. This was a significant move as it marked the beginning of Taiwan's separate political identity. However, it's important to note that the Nationalists did not view this as a permanent situation. They considered themselves the legitimate rulers of all China, not just Taiwan. They saw their presence in Taiwan as temporary, a tactical retreat, not an admission of defeat. The Nationalists firmly believed that they would eventually retake the mainland. This belief was so deeply ingrained that it influenced Taiwan's political and social structures. The nationalist government in Taiwan was essentially a continuation of the Republic of China, the government they had established on the mainland before the war. They maintained the same constitution, the same political institutions, and the same dream of one day ruling all of China. The nationalists from their base in Taiwan still held on to their claim as the rightful rulers of all China. But how did the world react to this situation? The world's reaction to the China-Taiwan situation was, and remains, complicated. After the nationalists retreated to Taiwan, many countries around the globe initially recognized this nationalist government as the legitimate government of China. They saw Taiwan not as an island nation, but as the true embodiment of Chinese sovereignty. However, as years passed, the international community started to shift its perspective. The pivotal moment came in 1971. A historic vote at the United Nations forever changed Taiwan's standing on the world stage. The United Nations, in an overwhelming majority, recognized the People's Republic of China, controlled by the Communists, as the only legitimate representative of China. This momentous decision led many countries to switch their recognition from Taiwan to the People's Republic of China. The decision was a significant blow to Taiwan's international standing. Suddenly it found itself politically isolated, its legitimacy as a sovereign nation challenged. Despite this, Taiwan didn't falter. It continued to develop and thrive, establishing its own government, military, and constitution. It's crucial to note, however, that Taiwan's status remains a contentious issue. Many within Taiwan consider it a separate, independent nation, while others view it as an inherent part of China. This division isn't just domestic. Internationally, the debate continues, with countries often walking a fine line in their dealings with both China and Taiwan. So, while Taiwan has its own government, military, and constitution, its status remains a contentious issue both domestically and internationally. Fast forward to the present day, and the Taiwan-China situation remains unresolved. Over the years, Taiwan has carved out a unique identity for itself. It's not just a refuge for the nationalists anymore. It's a thriving island nation with a robust democracy at its heart and an economy that's the envy of many. Taiwan's vibrant culture, its commitment to democratic values, and its tech-savvy, prosperous society all stand in stark contrast to the mainland. But despite these differences, the shadow of the Chinese Civil War continues to loom large. China, refusing to let go of the past, still stakes a claim to Taiwan, considering it an integral part of its territory. And it's clear that China isn't above flexing its military might to bring about reunification, a threat that hangs like a Damocles sword over Taiwan. So, while Taiwan functions as a separate country, its status remains uncertain due to the lingering shadows of the Chinese Civil War and ongoing geopolitical tensions.